I've heard it's kind of a love chamber.
That sounds much better. Yes. And what
They're
happens
bombarded with love.
Yes. You're surrounded with love because you're not alone there,
Right.
and your loving guides and spirits that have been with you. They surround you, and you get deprogrammed before you go into the consciousness of the source, so that you bring that love with you.
Yeah. Now, what about the idea of a life review, which so many people that I've had on my show speak about that have had near-death experiences? They talk about, when they cross over, there's a life review where they're aware on 3 different levels everything that's happened since they entered form.
Yes, our guides tell us that there is a life review, and that it's not for the purpose of judgment.
Right.
Because there is no judgment. The source is all loving and there's no judgment. The life review is for you to review the life and to see your lessons, but not only from your point of view, but from everybody else's point of view that you affected. So you're not only experiencing your emotions, you're experiencing their emotions, your lessons, their lessons. And that's what the life review is. And that there are other souls that are there with you when you're having that life review, because what one soul learns, the entire consciousness of the source learns as well. We're all learning vicariously through each soul.
Well, that sounds economical.
It
seems like a great way to handle things. That way, one person experiences it, and everybody, the whole collective, and source 2 gets to experience it.
It's kind of like the Borg, but a loving Borg.
Right, but without the bad side. Borg with heart.
Without the baggage.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting. We're headed towards the last 5 or 10 minutes. Are there some things that you would like to bring up to the listeners that you feel are especially important messages to share at this time?
Well, I would like everybody to know, and one thing too, because there's religion and there's spirituality, and what we believe is that spirituality is the new religion, because religion for a lot of people just doesn't deliver what our soul is thirsty for, and so I just see spirituality as an evolution of religion to a higher level. And that's not to say that there's something wrong with religion. A lot of religions are very loving, but religion is man-made. Spirituality is directly from the source.
Exactly.
And don't be afraid to listen to the voice inside of you, because that's the voice of the source within you. We are all divine.
I couldn't agree with you more. And the other thing, the part of the aspect of religion that I find difficult is that they create a separation from the person and the divine source. You always need some kind of intermediary, and you're separated, and you're sinful, and it just seems to bring a lot of negative beliefs that are unnecessary and distorted, that make it difficult for you to actually connect to source within.
That's right, and our guides really stress that to us throughout this book, is that we are all one consciousness. There is no separation. We're all one, united with the source. And the one thing that they stress continuously throughout the book is for us to all meditate, because through meditation we will experience that oneness and the greater awareness that is the source.
And I think that a book of insight is a book that people will learn so much from, and people who are going through strife in their life will read this book, and it will answer so many questions for them. I have a friend who gave this book to someone who was going through some issues in her life, and she read the book, and she said, you couldn't have given me this book at a better time. It's really helping me understand what I'm going through, and it's making me feel better. So I think a book of insight is something that everybody can get something from.
Oh, absolutely. I thought it was just absolutely jam-packed with, wisdom and truth and light and love as well. It just it's a very deep, and yet it's also a practical book, and I like the way that it's kind of broken out into sections, and it's just a very clear and well-written book.
Well, thanks to our guides. We'd like to take the credit that
I know. You can't.
Guides for that one.
Well, you were the tools.
we were the secretaries. We just took the notes.
Really. Now, before we head off the air, would you share with the listeners where your website is and how they can find your book and how they can find out more about you?
Yes, absolutely. Well, the listeners can go to our website, abookofinsight.com, and if they do want to purchase a book from our site, all books purchased there are signed copies. Also, we're available on Amazon.com.ca and Barnes & Noble as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Tilde and Tina, or Tina and Tilde, I had an absolutely wonderful and enlightening conversation with you, and I want to thank you for being on the show tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. I can't believe it's over. That was fast.
I know.
It
just flies by, doesn't it?
It does when you're having a good time.
Yeah, it's a wonderful experience to have, because it just seems like everybody I talk to on the radio is like an old friend, and we're just having a nice conversation between friends.
That's exactly how it felt for us.
It felt like a fireside chat.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, then I'm realizing my intent. All right. Thanks again, and I wish you the best of luck on your book, and I highly recommend people check out A Book of Insight, Wisdom from the Other Side. And thanks again, Tilde Cameron and Tina Fiorda.
Thank you so much, and thank you to your listeners.
All right,
and
good night, everybody.